Alright, today we're going to talk about how to fix your Samsung Galaxy S3 screen that is cracked. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube and they tell you how to take the screen off. Well, the problem is, I guess this video should be titled How Not to Fix a S3 Screen. Alright, what you end up doing when you're doing this, you need to be careful. Go in here. I went on the side here. I tried to use a guitar pick and it didn't work. So I took a razor blade, stuck it down in here, and lifted up. At that point, I just kind of kept working it, used the heat gun. Actually, I used a blow dryer and heated it up really hot, and yeah, the glue was coming off. And I raised it up. After I got it up far enough, I picked it up. And I said, wow, that was pretty simple. That was about the easiest thing I've ever done. I've done an iPhone before, and iPhone was pretty easy, except for the little screws. You know, I had to find a little screwdriver, which I'm a mechanic. I have screwdrivers, but nothing that small. I had to go buy one. But nonetheless, I went ahead and was patting myself on the back on what happened. So I busted out the new screen. Got this on eBay. Got it on eBay a few months back because my kids decided they were going to taste my patience and crack their screens early. They both have Samsung Galaxy S3s. One cracked the screen. I didn't come down on them too hard. The next one says, well, Dad, I cracked my screen too. What can you do? So I went ahead and ordered some screens here. You know, $10, $15, I can't remember. It's been a few months back. When they first came out, they did this. All right. So now I get in there, heat gun it. I told them the other day, I'm either going to fix it up, or F it up. Well, I did the other. I F'd it up. And if you look at the screen here, you see the screen's got a little bit of a tint to it. The new screen, even with the protectors on it, are still kind of clear. Okay, nothing to it. But if you look on the back side of the screen, there's your problem. The problem is you lift up part of the digitizer and destroy the screen button, the buttons, the home button and the back button at the bottom. You see that? Let me scoot back a little bit so you can see it. This is what not to do when fixing your phone. They don't mention that there's two screens in there. There's two layers of glass. Okay, you see it? Okay, just showing it to you. You need to be aware when you're lifting on the glass, you need to lift up on the top layer, but leave the bottom layer behind. It's possible to do. I haven't tried it on another one. I know my son has his screen cracked, but if you do this, you will end up buying a $100+ screen digitizer. $100+. In my case, I was seeing them for about 120 used to about 160 with the full frame on it on eBay. I was very upset with myself. I almost took this razor blade and cut my wrist. No, I'm just kidding, you guys. I'm not suicidal. I'm crazy, but not stupid. It's just a phone, okay? Not going to kill myself over a phone. But these buttons here came up. I ripped out part of the ribbon cable that's over here. Okay. And then in the process, after I said, well, maybe I can salvage it, I started looking a little closer. And I actually cracked the LCD screen. Let's see if I can find it really quick here. Somewhere in this area, it's cracked. So pretty much this whole screen needs to be replaced. Alright. Now, after looking at the rest of the videos, they are kind of careful, but they didn't warn me about that. That was my fault. Done. Alright. My advice to you, if you're going to do it, now keep in mind that when you see them on the video, they're scraping the glue off of the digitizer. There's an adhesive between this front glass and the digitizer that will not release. If you try to scrape it off, it will crack. It does not want to let go. You cannot make it let go while it's in your hand on the screen. You have to do it while it's still on the phone. So my advice, this is advice, I'm not an expert at this. I fix Honda cars. I've been a mechanic for 25 years, ASE Master Certified, but I cannot fix this. This is a stupid mistake on my part. Trying to give you the forewarning. I'll warn you, do not pry on the sides of the screen trying to lift it. Lift it from the top and roll it back and heat the glass with it. I use a hair dryer. I have a heat gun. I don't advise you using a heat gun on this. You'd have, the hair dryer got very hot. It was a little bit difficult to handle the glass while I was taking it apart. But if you see that the glasses are not separating, if you're pulling that bottom layer with it, stop. At that point, I don't know if you've ruined it, but I know if you go all the way this way, it's ruined. You cannot fix that. That was a stupid mistake on my part, and I paid for it. Now the good news. I called T-Mobile, because it is a T-Mobile phone, and I told them, can you activate my old phone so my son can have a phone to use while I order the parts for this new phone? And the lady told me, why don't you use your insurance? You have insurance on the phone. I'm like, well, I didn't even know that much. Now I'm going to give props to a company. I believe their name is Insuron. T-Mobile sells them. Okay. And the props are, I ordered this late, I believe it was Tuesday evening, around 6:30, 7 o'clock. And it was at my door within 3 o'clock the next day. No extra charge. Now, the bad part about this, it did set me back $150. But the good part was it came with a new phone, or maybe a rebuild. I can't tell by the box. It's not in a labeled box, but nonetheless, it's a phone that I don't have to bust apart to replace the digitizer. All I had to do was replace my SIM cards, put my memory card back in it, power it up, and it's good to go. Okay? Be aware, there are 2 layers of glass here in my hand. A really thin layer, and then the outer piece that's cracked. If you pull them up like this, you will destroy the digitizer, and it is $100+ on eBay. Okay. Now on the bright side, it looks like it's pretty easy to replace the digitizer. It's probably easier to replace the digitizer than it is the screen, but the digitizer is $150. The screen is $10. Okay. So while you're doing this, I know YouTube gives you powers beyond your control. Everybody thinks they can fix it, including myself. But be aware how to do this. Do not pry it on the sides. If you see them prying it on the sides, they're getting extremely lucky. Are you lucky? I don't know. I wasn't. $150 mistake right here in my hand. Okay. Now I have to ship this phone back to T-Mobile or Insuron. But I'm going to give you heads up or props for Insuron. I have the insurance. Didn't know I had the insurance. It was the best insurance experience I ever had. I don't work for them. I didn't even know I had them. The lady from T-Mobile even credit me $20 on my bill because my phone was going to be inactive for that day. That was the best customer service I ever got in my life. So T-Mobile, thumbs up. And Sharon, thumbs up. Thank you very much. All right, YouTubers. That's how not to fix a Samsung Galaxy S3. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.